I'm back in the barn today working on my WD45. I'm putting this distributor back together now. I had this apart, cleaned it all up. I'm installing the plate in it right now. And let's see, this is the tall one, so this one goes on the back side right here. So yeah, I've got the all the front end parts cleaned up and painted. They are in the basement of my house right now. Drying up. I finished, let's see, I guess I finished painting last night, but I haven't got them out here yet because I'm going to let them get good and dry before I do anything with them. Let's see, this long one here goes on the back side. Get it straight. There's a little notch in there in this distributor housing to hold that one in place. There. Yeah, I cleaned up the distributor housing and painted it black because I felt like it. I will also paint the starter black and maybe even the alternator, just to kind of break up the paint a little bit. There we go. Okay, I've got the distributor timed. I've got the engine up on top dead center on number 1 on the compression stroke. I've got it so number 1 on the distributor is pointed right, the rotor is pointed right at the number 1 spark plug. I've got new points and condenser and a rotor in there. And the parts tractor that I bought last fall actually had a brand new distributor cap and plug wires on it, so that was a bonus. It also had a brand new coil, which I'll use on this. I'm not going to put that on today because I need to take my coil bracket over to the basement and paint it. So we got this end pretty much wrapped up, so I think I'm going to move on to installing the intake manifold now. Now, when I rebuilt this engine 30 years ago, I had this intake manifold planed. I took it in and had this resurfaced so it was all true. These things, these manifolds, particularly on the exhaust side, they get a little bit corroded, and as they get older they'll tend to leak. But how I do this, and I suppose people have different ways of doing it, but what I've always done, I put a little dab of high temp RTV silicone on the exhaust gaskets and some copper coat on the intake gaskets on both sides. And that's how I did it 30 years ago, and it didn't leak. Never leaked for 30 years, so I guess I'll do it again. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I think I've mentioned before that WD-45s and older engines use 3/8 studs here, but this is a D17 head, so it has 7/16 studs. The heads, or the manifolds, there's no difference in them. Get this. There. All right. We are in place. And I did get some new brass washers and nuts to put on this. And I only painted the intake part of this manifold. The paint would just burn off the top part, or the exhaust part anyway. So we'll get this secured. All right, I've got the manifold all installed. I did end up, I had a bolt broken off here. I had to drill and retap that one. Looking at this this plug here kind of reminds me, don't know if any of you folks out there are old enough to remember this, but back in the 1960s and 70s, before we had a pipeline here, pipeline milker, I milked cows with the old surge buckets, and we didn't have a generator, so when the power went out and the cows needed to be milked, what we did, we'd bring the tractor down here to the barn, screw this pipe plug out, screw in a little piece of pipe with a quarter-inch pipe with a hose on it, plug the hose into the vacuum line, and we would actually milk the cows using the manifold vacuum from the tractor to run the milkers. That manifold vacuum was enough to run those old surge bucket milkers. So yeah, that's a blast from the past. Like I said, I don't know if anybody out there is old enough to remember that, but it's been a while, but that's what we did when we had to. So I've got made a little bit of progress on this today. The next video, I will be putting the rest of the front end under it and having that thing actually sitting on its own wheels again. Like I said earlier, I've got the rest of the front end all painted. I just need to bring it here and assemble it. But I'm not sure when that's going to be happening. I've got a lot of off the farm commitments next week, so I don't really think I'm going to be working on this at all next week. Boy, I'd love to just spend 3 or 4 days in a row working on this thing, but it's just not working out that way for me. But as the weeks go forward, it probably will. So anyway, that'll be it for today. Short video, but I wanted to throw something out there so you know that I'm still kicking here in southwest Wisconsin. So until next time, everyone out there, be safe, be kind, and we'll see you later.